having no signs of any sickness. So that was good. That lingered a little bit. I'm really, really grateful right now because I just was able to, on Friday, my sister had called me. We did an hour and a half Bible study with my sister Sarah, and um, she was leading out in a youth group, and she was hosting it for that Friday, and she wanted to call me and go over her speech and see what she was going to say and get some feedback on that. And it was so nice because in that conversation, she said she's very thankful for the King James Bible, and she was doing a study in the Bible, and then she proof texted over here, and I was like, yes, I'm so happy to hear these things, because I mean, just knowing the great progress that she has made. Sometimes she goes back and forth on some of these things, but it's just been so encouraging to see how she is making progress. This has probably been one of the most like exciting Bible studies I've ever done with my sister, and it's definitely up there. She was so engaged, and she was sharing with me what she was learning, and it was like verse after verse after verse. She just breaking down the scriptures, and I was giving her some analogies and sharing my testimony, and she was sharing her testimony, and it was just like back and forth. It was so good for like an hour and a half. We talked about a lot of things. She said she wanted to start giving Bible studies more to people in her area, and she mentioned her friend Hannah. She really has a burden to share with her friend about the sanctuary. And I'm like, yeah, that's a foundation of our faith. That is a fundamental truth that the world needs to know. And I'm just like thrilled at hearing these experiences and the stuff that's coming out from her, and really grateful for the opportunity to share, to talk with her. She encouraged and thoroughly brought joy to my heart. Also, Saturday night, we were able to move out Claudia. She's opening up a certified family home in the Lewiston area. And the idea is basically it's like a foster care for older people. And the people who are having difficulties at work, I mean, people who can't really live by themselves, the state, it's cost a whole lot of money for them to be in the hospital, and it costs a little less, but still a lot of money for insurance to cover for them to be in nursing homes. So there's incentives to open up these certified family homes, to take care of people in your home, because the cost is much less, and they take care of people in that way. So what we want to do connected with the school is have this as an industry to provide employment for people who may be interested in coming in this area, to let them be able to work. It's a Christian home for Christians by Christians, kind of a concept, to take care of them and minister to their physical needs, and being able to do medical missionary work while getting paid for it. That's something that medical missionary Maymon Wilson also encourages his missionaries to be able to take care of someone who's older in your home, and they're able to pay for that. And it's a way that you can be a self-supporting missionary to work for God, and use your medical missionary skills to alleviate and bless other people's lives. So you have like this win-win situation, a symbiotic relationship together. So that's official. I mean, the Lord worked a miracle. There was already a certified family home in the community, but the lady who was running it just went into hospice and urgently had to go in, and there was two clients that needed a new home, and Claudia was able to just open it up, and those two clients were able to shift in, and it's like, wow, that was pretty fast. So God just opened doors that need to be open, and even to the point of being able to take classes on like a Tuesday that have only been offered on a Sabbath before. So I mean, the Lord is just one after another. It was a huge blessing. So we helped move her, um, and set up her new home, on Saturday night. That was very good. Michael, my brother from another mother, but we have the same father. He's doing a lot better. Him and I, we've been working together. Just on Sunday, he helped me to cut a bunch of whiteboards, and what we did is we turned all the walls into whiteboard. Have you ever wanted to draw on your walls and erase them? Well, now I get to do that. So there are walls of whiteboards on like every side of me that I'm able to just draw on and just dump all my thoughts, make lists, I got a prayer wall, like literally a prayer wall. I've got a list of all the things I got to do. I've got projects that I'm working on so I could just keep my goals focused and some of the things that I'm trying to do so I never forget about them. The prayer requests that people send me, I put them on there so I don't forget and I can pray for them every single day. And it's just so nice to be able to draw all over the walls and have freedom to go anywhere throughout the room and just draw and just dump my mind because sometimes there's just a lot going on and I just need to make lists. So that was very therapeutic, and Michael was able to help out. He told me I didn't even know we had a circular saw, so I was able to find that. So we're going through the garage looking for things that we can haul over to Claudia's, and we've been working on different media ministry projects since then. Um, Willie and Tina, my Canadian friends, they're coming back. Their extension, their 6-month visa were expired, so they had to leave and go for a few months and then come back. And I'm like, yes, I miss them so terribly. Willie is a dear brother, and Tina is a dear sister. And it's just a blessing to be able to have my ex-Mennonite friends back. They are Willie is going to be leading out in the outreach. He's going to be the outreach coordinator. He is also the Sabbath school superintendent. So he takes care of the scheduling of the Sabbath school services, as well as he's going to be like the Bible worker team leader with the school and the church, just keeping tabs of all the different Bible studies and small groups that are taking place in the church and making sure that people have partners to study with. I'm going to be working very closely with him in coordinating evangelism and events and Bible readings that are taking place, and also the training of the Bible workers. Super excited about that, and he's excited about that. And Tina, she's going to be the health ministries leader for the church, making sure that the medical missionaries are trained, equipped. She's putting together a team of medical missionary-minded individuals, being assisted by very experienced women who have had decades of opportunity to labor in the medical fields for souls. And there's a project that I'm working with her to put together a medical missionary kit that we can have all of our natural remedies in there, like the bentonite clay, the charcoal, the essential oils, and the cayenne pepper and different things, so that and the basic first aids, and it's all there in a kit that we can travel and we can take with us wherever we go. And that way, if each medical missionary has one, we're ready on a moment's notice to take care of simple remedies or common injuries or accidents that people have, whether it's like and then also sicknesses like a flu, a headache, nausea, food poisoning, different things like that. And we're going to have all of that equipment there. And some of our training with the school is going to be based upon your medical missionary kit and teaching you how to not just do some random remedies, but how to do the remedies that are in connection with your kit and understanding how to use your kit effectively to equip you to go out and be practical missionaries and actually put it into practice. Super excited about that. We'll be working with Tina and Meji and Kathy. They really know what they're doing, and it's a wonderful team that we're doing, the Lord is putting together. And some prayer requests that I have is please pray for some help putting together some Google Slides. There are a handful of presentations that I'd like to do multiple times, and I think it'd be great to have slides for it. But it's like I'm not really like a graphical type of person, and I know that slides are really important. Visual aids are really good for people to be able to see things and follow along. And I know there are some tremendously gifted individuals when it comes to visual arts and visual aids. and just pray that the Lord brings those people who are willing to raise their hand and say, hey, I would love to. Um, yeah, I fell on my longboard and I scratched up my hand. But besides that, um, the yeah, just pray that there would be someone to raise their hand and say, "Hey, I'd like to help with making Google Slides," and that's definitely something that I'd like help with. And I believe it could help a lot of different people, and multiple people can use the slides to also teach the present truth for this time. Also, pray for wisdom to know when to start the school again. There's definitely a lot of moving parts to put into play as far as what to teach, when to teach it, who to involve, when to start it, and just the scheduling aspect of it. It's going to be very important. Also, pray for school property to be able to be out in the country, have acreage and easy access to the cities, and yet on the outskirts, not in the cities. We're looking at different things, and there's definitely a need for the school to have property in that regard. So pray that the Lord give us wisdom beyond our natural ability to understand this process, because there's so much that we don't understand, and we want to make the right decision. Also, pray for the church directory. We need a directory of everybody's names together so we can communicate with one another, and it will make a tremendous difference being able to cooperate, plan, work as a team, because a lot of people are coming to me for different people's phone numbers, and it makes it a little difficult. Um, and in order for things to move forward, we need to communicate. We need to be able to work together. So Lacey is working on the directory. She's doing a fantastic job. Meji, Cinnamon, they're all kind of working together. And Norman's doing the tech side, and it's coming together nicely. But I'm just like, Lord, please help us to come as fast as possible. But in His timing, pray that I have patience too. And I'll just end with this. I was having a conversation with Kathy the other day, and I thought it was really interesting. She asked the question, she's like, do you believe everybody should be leaders? And I was like, yes, I do believe God has called everybody to be a leader. The reason why is because leadership is influence, and all of us have influence, and influence is one of the talents of Matthew 25, when Jesus talks about He expects us not only to use, but to increase. And when He comes back the second time, He's going to ask you, what have you done with the influence that I have given you, the leadership that I have entrusted to you? A lot of people think like, oh, I'm not a leader, but that's not true. You are a leader. And the reason why is because if you're a younger sibling, then you influence your peers. You can lead them to Christ. If you're a middle child, you influence your younger siblings. If you're the oldest child, you are the leader of your siblings, and they look up to you. They're going to follow you in a large way. So you need to be careful how you lead them, how you use your influence on the younger minds that are looking up to you. And you have your peers. Mothers, they lead their children and they influence their children. Fathers, they are the leader of the household. Every single man is a leader. Every woman is a leader too. They lead other women, and they lead other children. And also, there's like an entire chapter in the book in the Epistle to Timothy about older women and how they are called to be instructors to the young women, to guide them, to nurture them, to help them. Those who are advanced in years, as Job says, old age should teach wisdom if it be found in the way of righteousness. So to be able to use that life experience and impart that to those around you, it is so essential. Every woman is a leader, and every man is a leader of their households. That's not just like positions and titles. Leadership is not about the title that you have: manager, executive, CEO, director, coordinator, whatever. I mean, the title isn't what makes you a leader. What makes you a leader is influence, and everybody has it. So that's a talent that God is going to require of each and every one of us. And that was like an aha moment for her. she was thinking about that. She's like, wow. She's like, well, is that, she's like, I've heard of talents, but um, I know that, like, I never thought of talents that God has given to all of us. I know He gives each person different talents, and I mentioned, I'm like, yeah, that was a question that I had. Christ Object Lesson, chapter 25, it talks about there are certain talents that everybody has been given. For instance, the talent of time. Everybody has 24 hours in a day, and we will be held accountable how we use our talent of time. Um, Also, communication, speech. Some people are mute and they can't speak, but they have sign language and they're still able to communicate that way. But most of us are able to speak, and speech is a talent everybody has. And a lot of people look at me and they're like, "Oh wow, you're naturally gifted. Like you've been given a gift for public speaking and teaching and things like that." And the truth of the matter is, that's just not true. I like, if you understand my background, I was a gamer. I didn't talk to people. I'm introverted by nature. I'm the last person you would think you would see standing in front of an audience giving sermons or teaching the Bible. I was the one that would like hide in the crowd. I would be quiet. I'd observe. I'm an observer of people. Not liking to be the center of attention. It's just um, the public speaking is something I had to learn. And if you saw my first sermon, oh, if you saw my first sermon, that was intense. I was flipping around this pen. I kept dropping it. I memorized this sermon from some other guy, and I like memorized it verbatim. And one time I lost my spot, so I was making weird noises in the microphone, like, and it's like echoing all throughout the on the speakers. And I told my friends, I gave my friend Josh a cue, and my other friends that came over, and I said, hey, whenever you hear this certain phrase, say amen. And my friend was over there, like, it was hot, and um, I was trying to preach for an hour and 40 minutes. I ended up preaching for 2.5 hours because I didn't know how to stop. It was so hot and muggy. I'd invited, there were so many people there. The place was packed. There almost wasn't enough room for seats. And my friend Josh, he was like asleep, and he's just like, and then I said the keyword. He's like, amen. And he's like, and so I mean, it was just really, really bad. So public speaking wasn't something that came naturally. I didn't know what I was doing. And all of these things I had to learn. I had to become a student. I had to grow by reason of use, have my talent exercise. And I still have a lot to learn regarding public speaking, but that's why I'm speaking to you. That's why I'm doing this vlog. I'm not doing a vlog because I know all of it or I'm an expert on it. It's because I want to grow, and I know practice equals progress. So I just need to keep practicing, and the same goes for you and I. But speech is a talent everybody has. It's not about how much you have. It's the real question is, what are you doing with the amount that you have? And so, like education, we all have some degree of knowledge or information, and we're expected to impart that to others. So there are certain talents that everybody has, and it's not like your shoe size, that it's fixed, like you have that amount throughout the rest of your life. No, you use it and it grows. And so this was like a big aha moment. So leadership, yes, I believe everybody is called by God and expected to be a leader. But the danger is, if you don't recognize God's calling on your life to be a leader, then you will have an influence, but you're going to bury it in the earth and put it in a napkin, bury it in earth, and you won't even increase it. You can't be intentional about with it. So naturally, you're inclined to use your influence in a bad way, because every word you say, every action you do, everything you don't do is influencing others around you. And if you don't realize this is a danger. Like, warning, 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 pay attention, because you are a leader and people are following your example no matter how many friends you have. So the sooner you recognize you're called to lead, the sooner you'll be able to be intentional and consecrate this talent to the Lord's service, and he will he will help teach you how to use it correctly. If you enjoy this video, I encourage you, hit like, comment below, and let me know what are your thoughts. Is this a new concept? Did you just realize that you're a leader? Did you just realize that your talents can grow, that there are certain talents that God has given to everybody? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And tag a friend in this, share it on social media if you think there's someone who should hear this. I look forward to talking more with you. Have a great day. God bless.